Well, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley. And today, this box is filled with wonders. This box is something special. This box contains something very important. It is the culmination of years of pining. Well, sort of years of pining. We'll get into that in a little bit. This box contains the new camera that I will be using to create content for the Stuff and Things channel and for Stuff and Things Plays. I have been wanting this for a very long time. All the things that we've been talking about on the channel recently, your Patreon donations, the t-shirts we have available, all that money has been going towards this. Now, what is in this box? That's right, it's the Canon R6 mirrorless camera. Now, it's not exactly paid off yet. I did get a very nice financing deal, so don't worry about that. So everything that you guys are donating is still going to go towards paying this camera off. But I finally was able to pull the trigger on it. I've been waiting with bated breath for this thing to arrive, following the live view of my delivery from UPS on the map. It is finally here, and we have to open it up, and I have to show you what we've been working towards for all these months, years, whatever. Let's get into this. Okay, I think you can kind of see the box. This came to me from a camera store in Utah. It is very hard to find the R6 right now, so once I decided I was going to pull the trigger on it, it was also a matter of finding a place that had this camera available. And I also got a particular kit, so I wanted that. I didn't want just the body because I don't have any of the RF lenses that the Canon EOS R6 uses. So, it is finally here. We have a knife. It is my Chebrikov Scout. Let's open this thing up. All right. Here we go. Bubble wrap. Ugh. Quite a bit of bubble wrap. We have the actual box. We will put this to the side, or maybe we'll use this as a pedestal here. Hold on. There we go. Put this on. Just like so, we have some more bubble wrap. Information there. And here we go. The Canon EOS R6 with the 24-105mm f4L IS USM kit. So that is the 24-105mm L series lens, a fixed aperture of f4 with image stabilization in the lens. So here we go. Can we see this? Can you see this? I should insert some music. We open it up. And inside, there is a bit of information. Canon USA, limited warranty. Excellent. We'll look into that at some point. Now, I know there are new firmware updates and things that I'm going to have to download for the camera and for the lens. We'll get into all that. We also have here a user guide, which is rather thick. I'm assuming most of that will be other languages. Let's just take a look here. I've watched several unboxing videos of this camera, obviously. And in every single one, the people go, I don't read the manual. I do read the manual. I always have read the manual. Ever since a small child, I would get a new Nintendo game and I would read the manual fully before actually playing the game. So we have English goes all the way to here. So not insanely thick, but definitely extensive, and I have a feeling it's going to take me quite a while to figure out this camera. I haven't had an actual camera. Typically, I record my Stuff and Things videos on a camcorder. It's a little Panasonic camcorder. Works fine, but it was sort of limiting. I haven't had like an SLR or a DSLR, and this isn't a DSLR, but it's that style of camera. This is a mirrorless camera. I haven't owned one since many years. It was an old Canon EOS Rebel film camera. So it's been a while, so I'm not very familiar with all the controls and how everything functions. So, and this is a whole different beast, obviously. It's a mirrorless camera. We have a battery charger here, And I will probably start this battery charging right now, because as far as I know, the battery ships without any charge. Ah! There we go. And we have the new Canon style battery. It's not new, well, it is new to me, but it's not interesting to me because I never had the old style Canon batteries. This is the LPE6, what is it? LPE6NH battery. That probably won't focus, but it doesn't really matter. You can take my word for it. And apparently you need this new style battery, the LPE6NH, in order to get your full frames per second if you're doing continuous shooting and things like that. So we're going to pop this in, maybe, to the old charger, and I'm going to pop this over here to charge. Excellent. Next, we have a plastic insert. We will put this to the side. Now things are getting interesting. We have here something. I'm assuming this is a lens case of some sort. This is all very exciting, all very new. I know my head is partially cut off in the frame, but you know, we're doing what we can here. Yes, so I guess this is like a lens sock or something. Looks like faux leather here, and then a kind of, I don't know, suede-like material. Pop the lens in there. May use that, may not use that. I do have a camera bag on the way that I'll show you at some point too on the channel. A donkey. It looks pretty cool. Here is a hood for the lens. So obviously if you just got the body, you would not have these things in your kit. Fairly plasticky lens hood. Nothing too exciting or groundbreaking there. We will put that aside. We also have a Canon camera strap with EOS R6 emblazoned upon it. I don't know that I'll be using that either. We'll see. It seems like you are required by law to use a Peak Design camera strap if you are on YouTube talking about cameras. That just seems to be the thing, and I don't want to break any laws, so we'll see. Next, we have another plastic tray insert, and inside this, we come to the pièce de résistance. I don't know what I'm more excited about, the lens or the camera. I guess we'll do the lens first. Ooh, oh yeah. That feels like quality. It's got some heft to it. Let me open this up. Again, this is the 24-105. I was not sure if I wanted to get the kit that had the kit lens. I knew I wanted to get the L series lens. There is a 24-105 non-L series that's quite a bit cheaper, but it has a variable aperture. I think it's f4 to 7 or something like that. I know I didn't want that, and then I was thinking, you know, what am I going to use mostly for video production? Would it make more sense to just buy the body and then save up for the Canon 15 to 35 zoom with a 2.8 aperture, or I don't know, maybe try to just get a prime lens or something? But then the more reviews I watched and read of the 24-105 have led me to believe that this will be a very versatile lens that I can use for a great many things, both video and photography. And it just seemed like, as far as an L lens goes, it's reasonably priced, and with the kit you don't really get a discount getting it with the kit, by the way, but it just seemed to make sense to get this lens. And wow, that feels hefty. I don't know exactly how much this weighs, but it definitely feels very solid. It does feel like a fancy piece of optical equipment. Let's see if we do the zoom ring, or is it locked? Is there a lock? There is a lock. There is a lock on the lens. Ooh. Feels very precise. Nice throw there. I will take the lens cap off. You can see that front glass. That is a 77 millimeter filter thread on there. I do not have any. Oh, wait a minute. Is there like a certain way you have to put these lens caps on? Maybe. And then the back, you have a metal mount, like so. I don't know if any of this is going to be in focus, which is quite irritating. I don't have my normal camera either. Focus on that, please. Metal mount. I thought that the lens body was actually plastic, but it feels, this section feels metal, and then you have the plastic rings. This is a metal ring here. It's the control ring, which you can set. Oh, nice little click in there. You can set this to do ISO or any myriad of functions that you want on your camera. You can set to this control ring. Then obviously the manual focus, which is focus by wire. It's not true manual focus, so it's like tethered electronically. And then you have your zoom control. We also have switches here for stabilizer on and off. You can turn the stabilizing in the lens off. Autofocus, manual focus switch, and then a lock for the zoom so it doesn't, I guess, come out when you're transporting it or things like that. This feels nice. This feels quality. It better be for the price it was. Put this to the side, and now here it is. The true pièce de résistance. The Canon EOS R6. Hold on. It's time. And here it is. I've got to say, it's fairly light. You know, I've held DSLR cameras before with a mirror. No mirror in this, so it seems a little bit lighter. It does have a nice cold density to it that I enjoy. It feels quality. I'm liking the grip. I have large hands, large man hands, and I can almost get, it almost completely fills out my fingers. Not quite, but pretty close. Seems like ergonomically I'm going to enjoy this. It seems like there are so many buttons and functions, but they all seem to be right around at thumb's reach. We have a flip out screen here, which is quite nice. And then this rotates and goes basically any sort of orientation you want. So this will be very nice for, for vlogging and stuff like that. The screen is, I think, 3 inches. I'm not going to go through all the specs and everything. If you're watching this because you're a fan of the channel, just trust that this is a fancy camera and it's going to make videos look a lot better on the channel. If you're watching this because you are a fan of the EOS R or you're curious to know about the EOS R, I'm sure you've probably already watched tons of videos and read tons of spec sheets just talking about the megapixels and all that stuff with this camera. I am just very excited to have what I could consider a pro quality camera, something with which I can make really, really good content. Obviously, the content is only as good as the person making it and the idea you have behind it, but I'm not going to be limited by my gear at all now. Let me just pop this on here. I want to put the lens on. One thing I will show you is kind of cool. When the camera's off, the shutter is automatically closed to protect the sensor. So we have a red dot there, or a red dash. Red dot there, and the lens is on. That feels nice. It's a little front heavy, obviously, because the camera body itself is fairly light, but I like that. I like that a lot. I don't get any view from the EVF because it's not a live view. It's an electronic viewfinder, so without the camera being on, I can't see anything there. I'm just super excited to try this camera out and to see what I can do with it. I will be posting samples soon on the channel. You'll start seeing videos that I'm producing on the channel produced with this camera. I'm going to start out maybe just doing 1080 and then delving into 4K and things like that. I'm going to need to get my head around all the different settings and the way this camera works. You may ask why I wanted to get the R6, and I guess just briefly, when I first heard that Canon was releasing new bodies, I had been very interested in the R, but I was kind of disappointed with the fact that there was a very sizable crop in the 4K that you could get out of the R. It wasn't full frame, utilizing the full sensor for the 4K footage that you could get. And so I decided I want to wait. I knew I wanted to get a Canon because I was really I guess excited about the RF lenses. It seems like from what I could gather just doing a ton of research that the RF lens mount and the lenses that Canon was putting out or have been putting out are just really, really good. And so I kind of wanted to get into that system. And in the past, I had had Canon cameras, but it's been a very long time. So I thought, I want to go Canon. And when I heard about the R6 and the R5 is the model that's a step up from this. It is a 45 megapixel sensor. This is a 20.1 megapixel sensor. You might ask, well, why didn't you want to get the R5? It has more megapixels. That must mean it is better. The R5 is a lot more expensive, for one thing. I think it's $3,800 just for the body, I think, for the R5, whereas the R6 is $24.99 or $25. I can't remember exactly what it is just for the body, and the kit is $35.99 with the 24-105 L series lens. So cost was a huge issue. Also, just the fact that the R5 can do 8K, I just didn't see myself ever really using that feature. I'm sorry, we got a little smoke effect here from my humidifier from my guitars in this room. Also, I was worried about file sizes just being so huge that it would be difficult for me to actually work with those file sizes. Also thinking, since I'm mostly going to be doing video and the stills that I would be doing are not, as of now, for, you know, professional use. They are for social media, for thumbnails and things like that. 20.1 is fine. And then when I thought about it more, you know, I had seen information on the Canon 1DX Mark III, which is their brand new flagship top-of-the-line DSLR. It's sort of like a weird hybrid DSLR because you can take photos in live mode where you're not actually using the mirror. But that camera is over $6,000. It is a beast. It is made for high frame rate, continuous shooting for sports and wildlife and things like that. It is by all measures a extreme pro camera. That camera has a 20.1 megapixel sensor in it. That camera's image processor is the Digic 10 image processor. These are basically the same. The image sensor and the processor are basically the same in the Canon R6. So in my mind, if the 1DX Mark III is a fantastic pro camera, this will be a fantastic prosumer or entry-level pro camera. I mean, entry-level, it's still very expensive. And I don't really understand, there was a lot of information or a lot of debate about 20.1 megapixels. What? 20.1? People freaking out about the megapixel count in this camera, comparing it to the R5 that has 45 megapixels, comparing it to the R, which had 30 megapixels. And I kept wondering when reading that, like, do these people think that the 1DX Mark III does not have enough megapixels for professional use? People keep talking about, you know, blowing pictures up to billboard size. First of all, how often is anyone ever doing that? Second, when you're looking at a billboard, you're usually dozens and dozens of feet away. So again, who really cares that much about the resolution? People have been using 20 megapixel sensor cameras to make advertisements and professional projects without any issue whatsoever. But now we've gotten into this weird megapixel arms race. And then again, the Sony a7S III is just coming out, or it's about to be released. That has like a 12 megapixel sensor, and I don't hear anyone talking about that. That's mostly for video. Granted, this is more of a true hybrid camera for photography and for video, but I think it's going to be well more than enough, and I think it will even be enough for me if I do want to go into some more professional videography and photography work, which I'm hoping to do in the future. I am quite excited. I can't wait. It's going to be a while, but I would like to add some more lenses to my L series collection. I don't know if you could call an RF or one RF lens a collection, but we're on our way, and I just can't wait to try this thing out. The battery is currently charging. We'll see how long that takes. I do have like an extra aftermarket battery, but I didn't have a charger yet, so I wasn't able to get that ready in time for this video. But I just wanted to show you my new, my new Canon R6. I am quite excited, and you will be seeing, maybe not the camera so much, though I may do some videos on this, but you will definitely be seeing the footage from this camera on the channel from now on. And I am very excited. So gang, thank you so much for watching this unboxing of the brand new Canon EOS R6 or EOS R6. I'm not sure which one you're supposed to say. the new workhorse camera for the Stuff and Things and Stuff and Things Plays channel. Until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.